Whenever you have a rough start like you saw from Quintana, fans and the team are hoping that the next day they can bounce back. So the next day being Saturday, righty starter Christian Scott, he's going to make his major league debut on Saturday night against the Rays. What do you make, Wardy, of the Mets' decision to bring up Scott at this point in the season, and what will you be keeping an eye on in the young pitcher's first start?
Well, first and foremost, like you, Dexter, as we were speaking off air before we got going here, we were both surprised a little bit with the Christian Scott call-up. Why did it happen this soon into the season, right? And there's justified reasons for that. And it starts with one. The Mets have always had this vision of doing a six-man rotation this season, especially once Kodai Senga is back in the fold. As we know, the earliest he can return is May 27th of the 60-day IL. But in the meantime, the Mets really want to make sure that they can bolster this rotation to the best of their abilities. And after another inconsistent start from Adrian Houser, who's now been shifted to the bullpen, his next turn in the order, you're kind of getting the feeling of, okay, the Mets could really use a starter in here that's young, exciting, and has proper put-out pitches, and that is what Christian Scott provides. And for those that don't know Christian Scott, he was a high riser in the minor leagues this past season, was utilized as a reliever for a bit to kick off his young career, but over the past year, as a true starter, has been fantastic. And it's been because of that mix-up with his arsenal there. Instead of being more of a sinker ball heavy guy, he's been more of a fastball heavy guy, which has been great with his command. Christian Scott has been absolutely dominant that we saw there in the minor leagues last season, and now so far this season. Just to throw a couple numbers at you right now, he has been an absolute thing of beauty on what he has been able to provide so far to the Mets in the minor leagues. The 24-year-old right-hander has a 3.2 ERA that we see with 36 strikeouts and only allowing 5 walks in those 5 starts and over 25 innings, and that's a heavy emphasis there. Only 5 walks. Christian Scott has been one of the best starters in all the minor leagues and commanding the zone with the walk rate, and this is a Mets starting rotation and the pitching staff as a whole that currently ranks second to last in all Major League Baseball in walks per game. They're over 4 walks per game right now, if I'm not mistaken. That is not ideal for a Mets team that's trying to have more success there, and we all know how David Stearns is about building a bullpen, about building a rotation during his time as president of baseball operations with the Milwaukee Brewers and previously as assistant GM there with the Houston Astros. So to get someone like Christian Scott in here, who in AAA this season has a 0.71 whip, which leads all AAA qualifiers right now, a 38.3 percentage on the K rate, a 31.9 on the K to walk percentage. Again, they each rank second in all of AAA there. He is one of the best true minor league arms that the game has to offer today, and it's headlined by that fastball that sits 95, that touches 98 there. You have the slider, of course, you have the splitty, and you have that sweeper, which has been a nice new weapon part of that arsenal, something that David Stearns, funny enough, has emphasized a lot this offseason when acquiring arms, has been looking for guys with nasty sweepers. So now enter Christian Scott into the fold, a heavy strikeout rate that we've seen, again, one of the best in all minor leagues. He has the stuff to make it at the major league level. He's been striking out everyone, it feels like, at the AAA level. So now let's see what he does here at the bigs here with the Mets. And to say I'm excited is quite the understatement.
Yeah, and you gave us great stats on that with him. And as you know, Wardy, it all matters what you do at the major league level. He's got the numbers. I think the thing that you mentioned that should be intriguing to Mets fans is his walk rate and keeping that really low. I think that's very impressive for the young pitcher. We'll see how he does on Saturday in his debut.